This is the end of the beginning. Welcome to today's show and happy 4th of July to America. Even though this isn't really the day where, America decided to be a nation, but the year 1776, July 4th, the date it's supposed to be, it does have a lot of significance, specifically not so much July 4th as much as the year 1776. As we all know, on May 1st, 1776, a certain group of people who usually are held in secret and many people believe never existed and still don't exist to this day, actually started this entire machine known as the American Dream, this entire matrix that we all live in, and now we're seeing it all being revealed to us. But I won't go into detail about that because that's not what I'm doing the video about. I'm doing the video to celebrate how great things are in America here on July the 4th, because I'm patriotic as ever this year, especially coming off my favorite month of the year, which is Pride Month. So before I get into the video and show you a great montage of some of the things you'll want to share with your friends to show them how patriotic we all are and how patriotic we all can and should be and how many things we really have to celebrate in today's world, I want to remind everybody there's no excuse for anybody out there listening to not be subscribed to my backup channel. My backup channel is called Eye for an Eye. The name probably will change. It's just the name I picked. Please subscribe to that channel now if you haven't. The link is below in the comment section. It's also pinned in the comment section. It's also in the description box. This channel will likely be gone probably by the end of the summer. You'll probably be wondering where I am. You'll probably say, hey, I liked watching some daily content. Liked watching and, binge watching some of the videos there, catching up and seeing what was going on in the world. So, getting real information. Of course, that's not what they want you to have here on YouTube. So please make sure you click the link below and subscribe now. Take that time. I'd appreciate it. Do it as a favor to me if you haven't done it yet. So the 4th of July, most of you probably are going, hey, isn't it just about fireworks or what's it really about? Well, for the woke movement, of course, the stories that are out there about why people shouldn't celebrate the 4th of July. Now, growing up, I was never big on the 4th of July. I was never really big on America. But now I find it funny that people are rebelling against America for all the wrong reasons. I was never big into it because I knew it was corrupt and I knew things were wrong. But now I realize I probably should have celebrated back when things were sane about 20 years ago. There was a lot to celebrate, I guess, because we didn't let the loonies run the asylum. But now we do. But New York Times and many of these articles out there, MSNBC, they're all pushing propaganda about whether we should actually celebrate the 4th of July, because of course they don't want anyone to celebrate the 4th of July, so that means that we probably should celebrate the 4th of July, right? Because whatever they say, just do the opposite. Whatever they tell you we need a ban of, make sure you have many of them and buy them quick before they ban them. Because whatever the government tells you, you just believe the opposite. So whenever the government's trying to get certain things in your body, don't put them in. Whenever the government's giving something away for free, be very suspicious. And when the government, who is supposed to, obviously, of all the things in this country, celebrate the 4th of July, when the government controls the media, as everybody knows, and they're telling you, we probably shouldn't celebrate the 4th because it's, got a lot of racist undertones. Well, maybe you should celebrate it. So the New York Times has an article about no sparklers for these folks, and they say whether, because of crowds, politics, or loss of patriotism, some Americans are conflicted about celebrating the 4th. So before I get into that, I say, we have so much to celebrate here. I mean, we just had a wonderful Pride Month. Now we have the Summer of Pride, according to our own White House. And, let's just have a montage of what America is in 2023. Take a look. If that doesn't get your juices flowing, if that doesn't make you want to put up your American flag in your front lawn, if that doesn't make you want to cook hamburgers and slurp on hot dogs, I mean eat hot dogs, slurp on hot dogs, who would do that? Oh, right, there are people who would do that. But anyway, I mean, if that doesn't get you going, I don't know what would. But there are a lot of people who don't want to celebrate America because they hate it, even though the things that are wrong with America are all the things that they're promoting. And of course, we used to have a saying when I was young, America, love it or leave it. Apparently that, along with sticks and stones might break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Apparently, America, love it or leave it. It's another statement that the media makes sure they never, ever let out there anymore because, well, if people out there who hate America so much don't want to be here, there's plenty of other places they could go. Like the people are flooding into America for a reason, right? Well, at least they think they're flooding in for a reason because they think that this is still a capitalist country, but they're doing their best to take people's jobs away every single day and give them to machines and give them to people based on their skin color. But people are flooding in, but I say then let's have a mass exodus. The people who don't want to be here or are currently here, who complain about everything, send them to China. They want to live like China. They love China. They all say that they're Marxist communists. So go spend a year there. Have fun building up your social credit score, right? Have fun when the government tells you your bank account's frozen. Have fun when the government says that you can't fly here or go there. And then you tell me about how bad America is. Now, those people will come running back to America and would no longer vote Democrat, even though your vote doesn't count. And those people probably would somehow become sane again, maybe, possibly, into realizing what a nightmare these communist liberal politicians really are trying to create here in America. Of course, they give you the illusion that it's a utopia that they want to build, but what they want to build is a control system where they're not under control, but we are under theirs. All big businesses, all tech, monitoring, following, tracing, and telling us what we can and can't say, where we can and can't go, and shoving us in electric bomb vehicles that'll explode at a moment's notice. So here's an article from the New York Times. Growing up, this is from Allison Kruger, no relation to Freddie, although I think it might be Freddie's daughter. But growing up in Benton, Arkansas, Mayla Tapp loved celebrating the 4th of July with her family. We would go to parades and see fireworks shows and hang out with friends, she said. It was always such a fun holiday. But now that she is an adult, she is 18 and entering college next year. Commemorating the holiday isn't so simple for her. It started in 2020 when the BLM movement spotlighted many of the injustices across the country. I lost a lot of my patriotic feelings, she said. Of course you did, which is exactly what they want to do. They don't want patriotism. They don't want America to be America anymore. So that's what the CIA has been working so hard on, creating all these psyops, right? Like BLM, Like the police turning on the citizens, when it's really the government that's turned on the citizens, and the police are just doing what they're told. Of course, the high-ranking police officers. If anyone thinks that police officers are so tone-deaf that they're pulling over people of different skin color than white, and then they're just shooting them without realizing the consequences and what'll happen to them, and how they'll not only lose their job, but they'll be blasted all over the media and never be able to work again, and never be able to step foot in society again for the most part, and be targets of these Antifa type groups. Yeah, if you actually believe that, you're out of your mind. So it started in 2020 again. This person lost a lot of their patriotic feelings. Of course, they're telling you this person's story because they want you to mimic the story. And they want you to read this and feel the same way. And it works on a lot of the zombies because they don't think for themselves. They just follow whatever other people do. So Miss Tapp now lives in Atlanta and also realized that many festive components of the 4th aren't that palatable for her. Freedom's not that palatable anymore for people. There's too much freedom in America. We need to take away all these freedoms because it's mean and it's hateful, right? And they don't see what the real agenda is. Pretty incredible. There are the fireworks. It's hard to tell the difference between guns and fireworks, she says. If you can't tell the difference between guns and fireworks, like when it's the 4th of July and you see these things in the sky and you hear booms, yeah, that sums up the IQ of mainly a lot of Gen Z and millennials out there. Oh, fireworks, they're jumping and hiding under their bed. That works for me. I mean, let's keep them hiding from society. That'd be great. So they say they're fireworks. It's hard to tell the difference between guns and fireworks. And here there's always something on the news about a shooting or something, so it makes me nervous. Of course it does. What doesn't make you nervous? Your own shadow? I mean, what really should make you nervous is the mirror, but these people love to look at themselves in the mirror and then take photos with their phone and upload it, and their dinners and their toenails and everything else going on in their day. They are also bad for the environment, says this person. So not only are you mixing in gun control, so you start with hating America, then you mix in how we need to get gun control because this person's hiding under the bed because they can't tell if it's guns or fireworks. Then we're mixing in how they're bad for the environment, so we're mixing in the climate agenda, of course. I mean, this is just unbelievable propaganda at its finest. So they're also bad for the environment all of a sudden. They release a lot of toxic chemicals. You know what really releases a lot of toxic chemicals? Well, look up in the sky right now. Yeah, geoengineering does. Oh, you know what else does? These trains that are exploding by our water supplies, and then our government's blowing up the tanks on the train so that black smoke clouds fill the sky, and we have benzene and probably chloroform, formaldehyde, all polluting our air. But don't worry about that. It's the fireworks that are giving off the toxic chemicals. Probably less toxic chemicals than we're getting on a daily basis from the chemtrailing that's done. But these people are complete morons, and this isn't obviously a true story. This is just a story written as if it was a book. Right? These people write these stories. These people are all John and Jane Does. They don't really exist. The author, again, Freddy Krueger, came up with this story and then puts all the seeds in about, environment, guns, patriotism. Bad, bad, bad. I don't know how anybody reads the New York Times. Pretty incredible. But anyway, this year, the girl is skipping the holiday altogether, opting instead to travel with her church youth group to visit a Navajo Nation community in Arizona. But the trip was canceled because of an outbreak. You know what outbreak that was. Some Americans, especially younger people, are rethinking whether they want to celebrate Independence Day. A survey by YouGov, again a fake survey, found that 56% of Americans plan to join the festivities this year. Of course, there are many people, including celebrities, still getting into the patriotic spirit. Post Malone, Sheryl Crow, and Dmitry Lovato are among many artists performing in CNN's 4th of July special, Ja Rule. Ja Rule. Oh, man. Ja Rule hanging in there? Oh, man, the real stories behind Ja Rule. For anyone, most of you probably like, who is Ja Rule? Now, Ja Rule was supposed to be a hard rapper. Well, he was anything but. That guy got around. You know what I mean? Love that highway. Anyway, Ja Rule's playing at Coney Island. We might get 15 fans there. Let's see. Marissa Vivori, 29, a tech project manager in Manhattan, remembers the last time she celebrated the 4th a few summers ago. She was going to the Hamptons, she said, on the most packed Long Island Railroad train she'd ever been on. I didn't get a seat, and I was standing in the aisle, and the toilet overflowed. And we all had to hold our bags. Oh, boy, I can't believe you had to hold your bags. She realized that's a lot of work for these people. You couldn't get your Alexa to hold the bag for you? Crazy. She realized she never loved the holiday. I remember even as a kid feeling bad for the animals during the fireworks. Of course, they have for the animals. Animals do get scared of the fireworks. I'm not a big fan of fireworks in general. Don't really get what the entertainment is, but you know what I mean? That's not what they're trying to say here. They're trying to get people to just not participate in anything that's patriotic because, again, part of crumbling the whole system is burning the American flag, destroying what this country once was so that we could raise the communist flag. Really, it's the flag that has flame, it's a flag that was hijacked. The colors of the flag were hijacked from God, of course, and then they mix in some other insane stuff on that flag, but that's what they want the new flag to be. So logistically, celebrating in New York City poses challenges. You're either in Manhattan and it's super hot, more reason to complain, of course. It's too hot because of climate change. We need it to be cold. And you're figuring, I've never thought people would complain about being hot. You're figuring out when you're watching the fireworks or you're trying to leave to go to the Jersey Shore, the Hamptons, and it's a fortune. And overcrowd, of course, it's a fortune. The Hamptons are a fortune. The Jersey Shore, not so much a fortune. She has political qualms with the holiday. Last summer, Roe v. Wade was overturned, and that really made this person less inclined to celebrate, she said. Even if she wanted to celebrate, she would worry about the message it sent. Of course, because remember, these people all in their own minds are celebrities. I always mention this, right? What message it would send if she showed up is if anybody actually gives a crap if this person shows up somewhere. But in their own minds, they're all thinking that they're celebrities and they're all trying to be politically correct as if anyone actually cares. And see, they all have the mindset that every time they upload this, I always get a kick out of this. This is one of my favorite things to do. Is I go on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account, but I go on Twitter. And I can just see people. And they post stuff. And they have 0 replies and 0 hearts. And they just continue all day to post their thoughts. And to post the pictures of what they're doing. No one's seeing it. They have no self-awareness. Be like, yeah, I'm posting this to no one. The only one seeing it is the government who's monitoring this stuff and monitoring behavior. And they actually act like they're Kim Kardashian and it's getting millions of views. And not that there's anything correct about that either. But I mean, they're so out of touch. This person's like, I wanted to celebrate. I'm worried what kind of a message it would send. Oh, okay. Because we're all following you, Jane Doe, and we all care about the message you send if you walk outside and stare at fireworks. These people are brain dead. So this year, she's leaving U.S. soil altogether and heading to Italy and Britain instead. I'll be in London for the actual 4th, she said, laughing. The irony is not lost on me. Why don't you just go to China for the 4th and stay a long time? Or find an island. Maybe an island where there's no way to get off of it. That'd be great. And bring a lot of your friends. Yeah, you know which ones I'm talking about. All right, then we move on to another female. It's just very interesting. They're all women. Allison Bartella, 30, a publicist in Brooklyn, is also saying no to a holiday she never loved. I feel like it's kind of the New Year's Eve of the summer. Expectations are high, and they're usually not met. The food's always sitting out in the sun and it's hot. And you're getting scared by random fireworks in the street. And it just doesn't turn out how you want it to be. Yeah. It's too hot out there. The food's sitting out in the sun. That's horrible. You know what? The food should sit out in the rain. I mean, what don't these people complain about, by the way? And again, these are probably Jane Doe's, or maybe they're real people. Maybe it's the author's friends, because they all probably run in the same circles. They're all completely insane, narcissistic people. But the food's always sitting out in the sun, so she's complaining about that. She's complaining it's too hot, right? Oh, what won't they complain about? That's why it's going to be great if, or it would be great, because I guess it wouldn't happen. If we can get all these people on an island, right, and they think it's going to be utopia. And then these are the people who hate everything, complain about everything. You don't think they're going to start complaining and turning on each other instantly? These people are insane. They're never happy. They're complaining about the food sitting out in the sun. Oh, what would you rather it do? Would you rather that the food is laying in fecal matter? Would you rather the food is sitting out in the middle of a blizzard? Would that make the food taste better? Oh, and it's too hot? Would you rather it be minus 10 degrees like we're in Canada? Would that be good? And you're getting scared by the fireworks. They put that in each one of these Jane Doe sayings. I'm scared by the fireworks. Sounds like gunshots. It's scaring my dog. Put in earplugs if you got a problem. I mean, really. This year, she's staying put in New York, where she plans to go to a bar on the Lower East Side. Some Americans are trying to come to terms with the fact that the 4th is no longer a unifying day. Yeah. This, again, part of the national divorce narrative. Connor, 28. Oh, he must be a real man's man, because he's in this article, so we already know where this is going. A content creator in Phoenix. Is he censored? Decided to do a video series in which he asked strangers if they were going to celebrate Independence Day. I got everything from America's the greatest country in the world. I'll try to talk like him. America's the greatest country in the world, and we have to celebrate the American dream. So this country has a lot to work on, and America isn't so free, and I don't feel like celebrating. I honestly didn't expect to get the variety of answers I got. I think a lot of people think America isn't for everyone anymore. And so it's not an exclusive holiday. Right. You know what's an inclusive holiday? Pride Month. That's what's inclusive. So he posted the videos on Instagram and TikTok. Of course, there's no censorship there for him. Where he received thousands of comments. I'm sure he got thousands of comments, like 3. A lot of people were like, why would you ask such a question? Because it seemed like a duh thing. But I was like, watch the videos and you'll see. Because see the narrative there? They're like, it's a duh thing because America sucks. They can't believe, he's like, watch the videos. You'll see there's actually people that want to celebrate this country, right? People want to celebrate actually not having it used to be the government didn't have this overreach on control on everybody. It had capitalism, that's what it really is. But they've turned capitalism into a villain because there's so many dumb people. They say, oh, these people don't have the same rights as white people have, and they can't go in college and all this stuff. Oh, right. You mean that they're lazy. And there's white people who are lazy. They try to make it about race and about where they grow up and all this other crap. It's about really just going out there, pushing and trying. I'm a perfect example of it, right? Look how much stuff they've taken from me. I keep going. I don't put my thumb up my rear and sit on my couch and give up and play video games. I don't expect hand-me-outs. I'm just fighting and working as hard as I can. That's what America's supposed to be about. That's what they always told us anyway. That's really what human nature is supposed to be. But we don't live amongst humans anymore. We live amongst people that think they deserve this and deserve that. And America's so bad because they don't have what they want to have. And they think that they should have millions of dollars and all the cars and everything handed to them without ever having to leave the couch. Everybody should, they can't use their brains to actually think. So the article goes on to say, as for Ms. Tapp, she understands the rejecting of the 4th is a new and hard thing for some people. I know a lot of people who feel they have to partake in all the events, and they have to show their patriotism just to fit in, or not have people get mad at them. Actually, that's kind of funny. Most people are afraid to celebrate the 4th. People without backbones. And, it's funny too. If you see, it used to be like all these dorks would have the American flag on. I used to think they were walking around with that. I'd be like, oh, geez. Now it's actually, if you see somebody wearing the American flag on their shirt, on their belt, on their hat, you realize that they're not a liberal, that they're actually a Republican. You could identify them now, their political party, just by, also how they talk and what the men look like. You could identify these people like a species of people. So if you're wearing the American flag, you just go up to the person and be like, oh yeah, America, capitalism, they're in, right? That's what it represents. And then, of course, they're targets as well because other people will spit on them and hate them, you know what I mean? Because they're actually supporting a country where you could be free, but we used to be able to be free. We're not free anymore. Obviously, the government that's in place has done everything they can to destroy freedom, and they do it on a day-to-day basis, but they still haven't given the illusion to people yet that this country is completely sabotaged. But anyway, people get really defensive when you say you don't want to celebrate the 4th of July because they think you don't care about soldiers who died and all the things that went into making this country. So she put a video on Instagram, of course. Now she put a video on Instagram. That's not censored either. And TikTok, reminding her followers that they don't have to celebrate if they don't want to. And how many followers does she have? 3? It's very much, and then they post on TikTok like they have followers. I mean, it's pretty incredible. It's very much a controversial holiday now. We all have to decide for ourselves if we want to celebrate. So there's many traditions still. It goes on to say Nathan's hot dog contest. The Walt Disney World's going all out with red, white, and blue fireworks. Wow, I can't believe Disney is. They're trying to still make sure they keep people lured into the Disney deception because they still want to have conservatives, of course, watch Disney so that they can groom them and put all their, their prideful stuff in there. But of course, at the same time, so that the parents continue to support Disney so that they can play the kids the propaganda, witchcraft, and magic movies. But anyway, that's what's going on the 4th. And, we don't want to celebrate it because it sounds like, people don't see the agendas. Like if somebody's just like, I don't want to celebrate the 4th of July, it's stupid. All right, that's a better reason than the reasons in this article where they have to put their agendas in there. People don't see agendas. I'm not celebrating the 4th because it sounds like guns and that scares me. We need to get rid of fireworks and guns because it's scary. It scared my dog. Oh, it's stupid because the food gets hot in the sun. I'm going to complain about that. Oh, you know what? The 4th of July isn't inclusive enough for everybody. Oh, I don't want to celebrate anymore after what happened in 2020 to George Floyd. Right. I mean, it's an utter joke, this country's joke. And I'm not telling anyone out there to celebrate the 4th of July. I'd never really celebrate it. I mean, if I go to somebody's house or whatever and have a hamburger, whatever. In the past, at least. Don't really have any friends anymore, but except for you guys. But, I mean, the whole thing's a joke. 1776 is obviously very significant to them, of course, with that word Illuminati. But, hey, this is how you continue to build a communist country. You take away all traditions. They don't want you to celebrate this. They don't want you to celebrate Christmas, even though it's pagan, and the whole origins of it is pagan. I mean, all this stuff, right? But they do want you to celebrate Halloween. Make sure of that. They want you to celebrate that. That's important to them, because many of the adults like dressing up in costumes anyway, because they're not adults, and they love worshiping Satan. So why not? So, ladies and gentlemen, 4th of July. Have a good one. Watch out for the fireworks. Don't get scared. Or in some cases, maybe get scared, because it could be the military themselves in your front yard. You catch my drift. I thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. God bless all of you and your families.